Denise Byers is a 1997 Alden High School graduate. She attended Genesee Community College before joining the Marines with her high school sweetheart, Mark Byers. Denise then went on to pick up her associate degree in radiologic technology and began her career at Mercy Hospital. In August of 2005, her husband Mark was severely injured by an improvised explosive device. Mark underwent 39 life-saving surgeries. Back home in Buffalo, Denise and Mark now produce maple syrup on their 15 acres of land. Byers Maple Farm now sells maple syrup and fresh produce during the summer. Denise started another business named Naturally Holistic in hopes of educating others on how to live holistic and non-toxic lifestyles. Lastly, Denise and Mark are proud parents of 2 girls, Eva and Grace. On top of everything, Denise began homeschooling Eva and Grace in 2020, where she teaches them her own herbalism curriculum.
Transitioning from military life to civilian life is really hard for a lot of guys, and it was hard for us. Civilians, when we wake up in the Marine Corps, we take a 4-mile run, 3-mile run. Our uniforms are perfect, everything's perfect. And when you go to civilian world, everyone doesn't look and act so perfect. It's a little hard to get used to. You just want to kind of scream at people, but you hold off. You learn that that's not your job anymore. So, from Denise's part, when I was injured, when I first woke up, she was the first person I saw. And to ask a 25-year-old woman to stick by a guy missing an arm and a leg, not knowing where the future's going, not knowing where you're heading, it's a lot to ask. But she didn't go anywhere. She stuck by my side, and we made everything work. And that's part of that Marine Corps perseverance. Don't quit, don't give up, keep pushing forward.
Yeah, I'm all about the values of integrity, completing the mission. You know, like if I set my mind on something, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna finish it. You know, there's no quit in me, no matter how long it might take me to finish something. So I try to instill that in my kids. You know, like for instance, Gracie will be like, I want to do gymnastics, and then she'll be like, I don't want to go today. And so I instill that where you sign up for something, you follow through with it, and you do the thing that you said you wanted to do. So challenges and rewards of homeschooling, there's a lot of them. Challenges are, you know, you're trying to get a routine and do the same thing every day, but in reality, that's not how it happens. You get phone calls, you get people that come to the door, appointments that, you know, but the good thing with homeschooling is you can create your own schedule and you can fit it in wherever you need to. If I have, like, we went and got our oil changed in the vehicle, and when we're waiting for it, I sit there and take that opportunity to teach my kids and help them with their schoolwork while we wait for the vehicle. So we find pockets of time throughout our day. You know, it might not be the same time every day, and that's okay. The fact that my kids know herbs, like they'll just come up to me, especially my youngest, she'll be like, hey mom, this is colt's foot, or, you know, Eva, actually both kids last week on their own accord. I didn't tell them to do it. They didn't do it on their, or they didn't ask me. They were just like, we're gonna make apple cider. So they went out and picked 4 buckets of apples and, you know, did all the things. She looked at it on YouTube how to do it. So they just cut up the apples, you know, boiled them and put them through the strainer and made some apple cider of their own. And that's what I love, is that my kids know they're free here. When we first started making maple syrup, my husband knew what was entailed for the most part, kinda. I mean, he had done it a little bit with his godfather when he was younger, and then he realized that we had trees in our property, and he's like, why don't we try tapping the trees? And I was like, I know nothing. I absolutely knew nothing at all about maple syrup whatsoever. So he's like, well, we just tap a tree and the sap pours out and we boil it, and there you go. And that's the basic gist of it. But we soon learned how much hard work it is. And, you know, there's on average 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup. So it's a lot to yield into something a lot smaller. But so that was probably the most eye-opening thing. I've been through some traumatic things in my life. It takes healing, and it takes helping others to get through it. So I think when you're down, we all experience trauma, I'm sure, at some point in our lives. I don't think that any of us are going to get away from that in life. I think that's just how life is meant to be, is to get over challenges that you're faced with. Some are easier than others, of course, but I'm a firm believer in keeping the faith and having hope. Yeah, helping others, I think, is what really helps you to feel good about yourself, is when you're helping others come out of things too. So,
Yeah.
yeah.